Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming in to watch this training I'm going to do. This is an hour coaching session. I'm going to try to get as much of this information covered in the time frame allotted. Again, thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. Fellas, if this video blesses you, touches you, helps you, encourages you, motivates you, inspires you to recapture your masculinity, I want you to share this video, watch this video all the way through, take notes. Please take notes, guys. Please take notes, guys. A lot of you brothers are suffering with these things, and I want to show you how to deal with it, how to get out of it, how to identify it, and how to take your masculine energy back and take your life back. We're going to talk about the 10 types of female manipulation and how it destroys men. A man who doesn't see the game will pay the price. Many men who I've coached over maybe 2 decades have fallen victim to these 10 types of manipulation in some way, shape, or form, and you have to be on guard for it. Now, these 10 types of manipulation, there's more to them to what I'm going to disclose due to time constraints. And let me preface this. Every woman is not out here trying to manipulate men to hurt them. Some women are responding from genuine trauma responses. Some of them do have some real issues going on, and some of them do not see their actions because they've been taught as little girls that this is okay. Every woman is not out here to crush you, all right? So I want to first say that, but I want to also speak to the ones who are out here to do damage. And to those women, I create this training course for you men to guard yourselves and to protect yourselves, to protect your legacy, your heart, your spirit, your money, and your future from these type of manipulative women who it seems to be popping up all over the place via social media. So let's start off with the first tactic. The first tactic I've noticed is love bombing. Overwhelming affection to hook you fast. Constant validation and attention. They flood you with compliments and texts and attention to make you feel special. Now, most men who fall victim to the love bombing are men who never really experience genuine female love in their life. So there leaves a vulnerability there. There's an emptiness in a man for some men, and that woman feels that emptiness with a lot of hollow compliments, overextending her feelings for you to get you to lower your guard, believing that you found something that you can't find anyplace else, and that it is so rare that this is happening to you, that the universe is finally aligned for you. And most of the times, real love takes work. Love bombing is one of the first manipulative tactics I've noticed. They move too fast emotionally. They're talking about a future and you're not really connected to them yet. They're talking about a family and a home and marriage, and they're talking about all these things that are supposed to evolve into a conversation over quality time spent, and they rush through it, and they're rushing to a deep level of love and intimacy that is not valid. And you have to be able to avoid the, I believe this is a perfect fit, I know you're it. You can't let their emotional perspectives override your logic or your own intuition. And if you don't draw the line here, you'll fall head on into the love bombing trap until eventually their validation becomes the hook. And once you're caught in needing their love bombing, you do anything to get that feeling or that dopamine rush of feeling special, when it's not that you're necessarily special to her. She just exploited you with the first tactic to get you to lower the guard so she can start the game of getting what she wants from you. This tactic destroys your judgment. You overlook red flags and you ignore intuition. You become emotionally dependent on their approval. I want you to listen to me. Take notes, brothers. Fast love is rarely real love. Love bombing. Tactic 2, gaslighting, twisting reality until you doubt yourself. They twist reality until you doubt yourself. They deny things that happen. She acts like events never happened or tries to convince you they didn't. This is when you have proof of whatever the heck they're doing. You can see what they're doing. You can recognize what they're doing, but they're trying to tell you that what you see isn't real. You see conversations that are happening with her on social media or in her phone are inappropriate. You question her about the proof in front of you, and she rewrites it. She changes reality so that you are supposed to change your perspective of what you're obviously seeing. That's a discretion to trust. They rewrite conversations. She twists your words and changes the meaning to control you. She'll take the words that you're saying or that you're asking her about, and she'll twist the words. She'll change the meanings so it fits her narrative. And if it fits her narrative, it then controls your response. It is a very subtle way of getting you to gradually start doubting your confidence on what you see, which is really who she really is. Makes you feel crazy. She invalidates your feelings and makes you question your sanity. You may feel that her going a certain place, doing a certain thing, acting a certain way around certain people is inappropriate. Honey, that's not a good thing for you. It's not a good look for this relationship. But she'll tell you you're being too sensitive. That never happened. You're imagining things. You're crazy. No, that is your intuition. Your intuition is God's way of giving you a warning sign because you don't have time to walk down the line of truth to gather enough facts to make the decision. It's the emergency pull switch that God puts in you as a man, that you should pull it even though you don't have all the proof you need sometimes, and make the call and cancel the relationship and get out of it. Gaslighting makes you feel crazy. She plants seeds of doubt. Over time, you start doubting your memory, instincts, and perception. If you don't address gaslighting, over time, brothers, you will start to doubt whether or not you're seeing what you're really seeing. You'll question whether you remembered something properly against what she's saying, against what you really do remember. It gets you to become numb to your instincts and your perception. So if you question your reality, you've already lost control with this woman. If you're questioning your reality with her, you've already lost control in yourself concerning this woman. It destroys your confidence. You lose trust in your own mind and decisions. Constant confusion leaves you mentally drained and weak. You lose your mental clarity if you are with a woman using this gaslighting technique to manipulate you, to get you to do all the things she wants you to do. The next tactic we're going to talk about will be victim play. All right. Victim play, always the victim, never accountable. Nothing she does is her fault. Everything she does is because you made her feel some kind of way. You made her do it. You made her move this way. You made her feel. Everything she does that's bad was prompted by what you did or didn't do. She shifts responsibility and makes you feel like everything is your fault. No matter what it is, you're to blame. She uses sympathy as a weapon. She plays the hurt, misunderstood one to get your pity and compliance. I've seen this in my personal life multiple times. A woman will play the tear game, the crying game. You don't trust me. This is messed up. All I do is try. And they'll play that sympathy game. And if you're not careful, brother, your discernment will be able to see the tears but hear the lies. But if you're not masculine enough to have control over your emotions, king, your masculine instinct will betray your decision-making skills, and you will lower your guard and accept her false display of sympathy. And you will shift your focus off of accountability. You'll stop asking the questions that need to be addressed in regards to her behavior because you don't want to see her in this space. No, her guilt is causing all of this, her show she's putting on. And she knows you love her and you don't want her hurt. So what you do is you don't even address it anymore. You just leave it alone. And she walks away, never having to feel the full pressure of being responsible for her response to her messed up or sneaky or slick or disrespectful behavior. Do not fall for it. She never owns her actions. Paints herself as the victim no matter what you say. Anything you say, she's offended. Anything you say, she's offended. She's upset. You made her mad. And it justifies her decision to secretly talk to somebody else, to secretly entertain someone else, to disrespect you, to not take you serious, to take advantage of you, all because you made her feel some kind of way when you didn't do any of that. She is making herself the victim to justify her manipulation and to not feel bad about it. This is what women do to make their conscience cold so they don't feel anything while they're doing their dirt. Don't fall for that. Please don't, brothers. You can't win against someone who refuses accountability, because most women who refuse accountability are definitely, hands down, narcissistic women, and they need to get help outside of you. It won't work. Because narcissism, this victim play, it only changes when they recognize that they're doing it. And it takes a certain level of humility. And if they don't have it, they'll keep the manipulation going and have you feeling some kind of way. All right? So be real careful with this, brother. Watch the victim play. The next tactic is the queen treatment. Social media is making this the new thing. Demanding everything, earning nothing. Expects luxury plus lower. She expects you to provide the best while giving the bare minimum in return. Gives minimum in return. Entitlement over effort. She takes rarely does she contribute anything real outside of physical intimacy. Social media is teaching women that they should be treated like a queen as girlfriends while they can drop. They want you to give them the husband queen treatment, but they'll drop you like a boyfriend. Queen treatment, demanding everything, earning nothing. And the danger with this aspect is men who do not have self-confidence enough in themselves to say no to something beautiful and to let that thing leave. They will fulfill every request she has, even to his own detriment. She's not in love with you, brother. She's in business. Queen treatment is something that should be given to a real queen. Your wife who has been loyal. She's been with you. You know the real one when you get the real one. But most of the one that you're running into nowadays, they expect queen treatment. There is no loyalty to you outside of what you can give them when they can get it. They use status as pressure. She'll compare or belittle what you have. She'll compare or belittle your success to keep you serving and not leading. When you are a victim to the love bombing, this all ties in, because now you can't move any way that you need to move because you have now become accustomed to her love bombing. And in the love bombing, she now marries that together with, if you don't do this for me, right? If you don't treat me like a queen and give me everything I want and read my mind and do stuff and send, if you don't do all of this for me, I'm not staying. It's conditional. Because no matter what you do, it's never enough. The goalpost always moves. And this is where, brother, you got to be willing to lose one woman in order for the right woman to have space in your life. Because if you are too busy trying to keep her by giving her more queen treatment, you are going to lose yourself, your money, your company, your dreams, and your goals all in her pocketbook. And when you can't do it anymore, she'll say she doesn't feel special, and she'll replace you with another fool. A king doesn't serve someone who hasn't earned the throne. She needs to earn that. And if she's not willing to earn it with love and real support outside of intimacy and outside of money, like real emotional support, real mental support, and I don't mean she has to be your mama, I just mean support. If she has not earned that, then you bet not open up your coffers and open up your wallet and give her queen treatment when she's giving you nothing other than a good face, or a pretty face, a nice body, and a couple good nights in bed. She did not earn that. Do not let that be the check in the box factor that causes you to put a woman on a throne she didn't earn. Because when a woman does not earn her throne with you, She will disregard you and everything you did to put her there. People respect what they work for. And that goes for women as well. So be careful, brothers, when it comes to this whole queen treatment level of manipulation. The next tactic is number 5, sexual leverage. Reward/punishment. Says she gives or withholds intimacy to reward compliance. To reward your compliance. She's not going to sleep with you if you don't give her what she wants. Using intimacy as a weapon and not a gift. Conditional affection, sex, attention, touching, never freely given, only earned or traded. This is where you know you need to get rid of this. Because now she's using her body as the table of bargain. You get my body if you give me what I want. Even if what she wants is unfair. And here, men who don't have sexual discipline, they get destroyed right here. This is where men lose their $1 million company. This is where they lose their business, lose their friends, lose their colleagues, lose their future. This is where most men are destroyed because you don't have enough discipline to tell yourself, I am not going to trade in my dignity, my power, my crown on my throne because I want to lay up with a woman that's withholding herself from me. If she's withholding herself from you to get what she wants from you, my suggestion is you let her withhold all of that as a single woman and you get rid of her. Because a man that cannot beat this level of manipulation, we see it all the time on television, it will cost him everything. It will cost him everything. Because when you fall into this level of labor, because sex is it's an organic thing. It's a natural desire that you're going to have. So now you have to fight your natural desire to want intimacy, and then your emotional desire to want to have it with her, then your attractive level desire because you're attracted to her. This is a tough one because you have to fight your desire on multiple fronts in order to beat this type of manipulation. It's difficult. But I want you, brother, right now, if you're watching this video and you see yourself in this, I need you to ask yourself, this is costing your destiny. And is this trap worth your divine place? Is this trap worth your destiny? Is that 1 or 2 hours in bed with this woman, that sex, is that eroticism worth everything you've worked so hard to build? If you can say yes, then you still got some growing to do. You're not a man yet, you're a boy. Or you're an addict, and you need to rectify that. Because once you fall into this level of leverage, it controls your decisions, your choices, your time, your actions are influenced by the promise of sex. And if you can't control yourself with that, brother, you will self-destruct on this altar. Remember, when sex becomes transactional, intimacy is no longer real. It destroys your discipline, your focus. It further entrenches the emotional control. Your emotions become reactive and not intentional. She say, I need sex right now. You drop what you're doing. You stop working on the business plan. You get out of the meeting. You leave everything you got going on to run over and meet that. No. It's sexual leverage and it's control. Your masculine frame, you become less of a man when your worth is tied to her access. Remember, if access is transactional, you're being controlled, brothers, not loved. Tactic 6, isolation. When you love a woman, you love her presence, right? You love being around her. You love being with her. And when she knows this, she'll use this. She'll use this. Not return your calls for 2 days. Not talking to you for a week. And then showing up like nothing happened, saying she needed space. Turns you against your people. She creates problems with your friends and makes you question their loyalty. A woman that needs you all to herself, a manipulative woman, she'll do anything she can to poke and create doubt between you and the good people you have in your life outside of her, because she cannot control you if you got the voice of reason coming through the mouth of someone else in your inner circle. She creates distance. She makes you create distance from family. She makes you feel like your family doesn't understand or support you. Now, in some instances, the woman is right. They don't understand or they don't support you. And she did come along your side as a good woman at some point in time. But something got into her head, her heart, or her spirit, and she turned into something else. And although this fact may be true in some way, shape, or form, it does not constitute absolute isolation from the people that loved you before she came. Because sometimes it's the voice of reason from those individuals that get you to ask the questions that you are afraid of asking, because deep down inside you know what the answer is. This makes you dependent on her. She becomes your only source of validation, peace, and connection. When she's the only source of your validation, peace, and connection, you do anything to keep it. You don't want to be alone, and you darn sure don't want to be alone in the sense where she's gone. This controls your time and access. She limits who you see. Every time you go someplace, she needs to know where you're going, who you're talking to, why you're there. And when you get there, she calls you 100 times, talking to you about what you're talking about, what are you doing, what are you telling them. And listen, that is not love. That is control. She's limiting where you can go. She's limiting who you can talk to, what you can talk about. She's isolating you from developing any type of valuable relationships or connections that are healthy, because she needs you totally dependent upon her. She doesn't need anyone else to speak anything else in your ear that may cause you to question her loyalty, her motives, or her agenda. Because like they say, sometimes it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. So remember, a man alone is easy to control. And isolation isn't love, it's control. It is control. The next tactic is tactic 7, emotional blackmail. Threats of leaving. This used to get me every time. She gonna leave. Man, I don't want to leave, so I got to change myself. Using fear, guilt, and pressure to control your choices. She threatens to leave, using fear to make you comply. The thought of her later with another man, touching another man, talking to another man, physically being taken care of, it just drives it. That fear of that is so powerful, and it makes you so emotionally reactive that you do any darn thing to get her not to leave. Guilt trips. Makes you feel guilty for her emotions and happiness. Sound like that wife of that movie star who smacked that other comedian. You know what I'm talking about, right? You're responsible for her happiness. If she can't be happy alone, she'll never be happy with you. You'll have good times with her, but she'll never be happy with you. Because happiness is a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's being able to use gratitude for what you have and to live in that mental space of what your current position is and to find the silver lining in where you're at and to be grateful. If she can't do that on her own, she'll make her happiness your responsibility. And if you can't do the impossible like that, then she starts to blackmail and threaten to leave, as if it's supposed to poke you to discover some new way, some new revolutionary way for you to keep her there so that she doesn't leave. But you can't do anything because now it's an emotional ultimatum. It's her way or no way. Force you to into absolute compliance. If she can't get what she wants the way she wants from you, she'll leave. And so you do anything you can to comply to her emotional needs. This is a dangerous slope. It plays on your empathy because she knows your heart is genuinely for her. It's a conditional love metric. If you love me, you would. You're the reason I'm upset. I guess I just don't matter to you. Do what you want, I'll just leave. After everything I've done, they'll use, listen to me, emotional blackmail is one of the biggest things that men who do not have confidence that they can do better, men who don't have real self-confidence, this whole thing, this tactic is so damaging. Because not only does it cause the man to compromise on his own boundary lines to keep her, which puts him at risk, or both of them at risk financially or geographically or emotionally, it also drains you. You live in fear of upsetting her instead of living in truth. It becomes a relationship of eggshells and anxiety, and you're no longer happy. It's miserable. You're a prison to her lack of emotional control. And she uses fear of losing her as the prodding stick, per se. Fear is the leash. Guilt is the chain. And it's time for you, brothers, to stay masculine and to become more masculine and end this cycle of emotional blackmail in your personal life. The next tactic, reality distortion. I know this sounds like something out of Marvel. Reality distortion makes you the villain. She flips the narrative and makes you look like the problem no matter what really happened. Even if she's the cause of what happened, she'll flip it and make you the villain and say you did this, and so this is why I did this, I said this. They'll flip it. Makes herself the hero. She paints herself as the victim who did nothing wrong, even when the evidence says otherwise. You have evidence on what she was doing, but she flips the narrative and make you the reason that she did what she did, which created the evidence that shows her discretion. You made me feel some kind of way. That's why I started talking to him. You didn't give me all the money when I wanted. That's why I asked somebody else for it on Cash App. You didn't do this for me. That's why I called my ex. They'll distort reality to fit their narrative. And if you don't stand on that, you will start to get confused on what's real and what's not. She alters the narrative over time, gradually sometimes. The story keeps changing. What she said yesterday is never what she says today. No matter how much proof you have, she'll change it. Because if she doesn't change it, she has to carry the brunt of accountability. She has to run the risk of losing someone because she got caught being sneaky, got caught doing something she wasn't supposed to do. And instead of get caught, she'll change the narrative or get you to second guess what you saw, what you believe, and what you know your intuition is, and even the proof you got in front of you. Listen, if you don't control your narrative, someone else will. This is your life. And you cannot be so afraid of, as a man, of getting rid of a woman to make room for the right one, that you stay in this cycle of confusion and craziness. You know what she said. That didn't happen. You know exactly what she meant. You always twist things. You tell her she need to stop doing this. You're the problem, not me. You know what she said when she was talking to him or them. Man, you imagine things. You making stuff up now. This don't make, come on, this is crazy. It doesn't make no sense. No, she's playing a game. And unless you stand on this hill, masculine men, and say, listen, I'm not playing this dumb reality distortion game. Either own what you said and what you did for what it is, or pack your bags and get the hell on. That's it. And you don't budge on that. And if she leaves, let her leave. And don't you reach for her. If she walk into another man's arm and she on social media, let her do it. Do not respond. In your mind, she is dead to you. Let her go. Because if not, she'll have you in a place of confusion where you don't know what's real and what's fake, what happened, what didn't happen. And before you know it, you second guessing everything to the point where she has you running around chasing your own tail in an emotional circus while she's taking whatever she can from you, draining you of everything and watching you go crazy in the process. That's not cute. That's not spicy. That's not she having a bad day. That's wicked. And it's destroying you. And as a man, you deserve better. Sometimes, please hear me when I say this, brothers. Sometimes a king has to break his own heart to finally become free. Tactic 9. Constant comparison. Constant comparison. She compares you to other men to make you feel less than enough. Well, your car don't look like their car. Well, you don't make what he make. Well, I know big guys who make a lot of money. I know men who and you realize, just being honest, you ain't really like. When they start comparing you to other men, they're subconsciously trying to bring you down a notch to make it feel like she's settling for you when she could have that. And if you're not a man that's confident in being alone, you will add extra work. You'll change the way you dress. You'll change the way you move. You'll do all this stuff to look like what she compared you to. And in the meanwhile, in the process of this forced evolution into some shadow type of what she says is better, you are sacrificing your identity and character on the altar of constant comparison. You're cutting off a piece of yourself, brother, that's good enough for the right one. She elevates others. She highlights other men's qualities while downplaying or ignoring yours. A lot of women do this in front of their friends. They downplay your qualities and what you can do against what their husband or boyfriends are doing to try to make you feel as if you're inferior. This is her pulling you back into that validation trap. And now in your heart and your head, you're starting to question whether you're enough. And when you question whether you're enough, you start doing extra stuff to be enough. But extra stuff to be enough is never enough for the wrong person. She criticizes and corrects you. She points out what other men do better, using as a weapon against you. She is trying to get you. She's trying to erode your self-confidence in who you are and where you are in life, to the degree where you need her validation. You need to become something different so she doesn't compare you. But let me tell you something, brother. You will never be enough for a woman, an evil woman that does this to you. No matter what you get, she'll find a way to diminish the value, to put you back on her emotional hamster wheel and watching you doing all this other big stuff that you can't do, possibly can't afford, overextending yourself, stressing yourself out just to get her to say, that's enough, I like it. She doesn't want the best for you. She wants you to know you're not the best. I know that hurt a lot of you brothers who are watching this video. She doesn't want the best for you. She wants you to know you're not the best. What does this destroy? Your self-esteem. You start believing you're not good enough. Because when she has got you through the isolation trap, you are basically a slave to her validating you. When she validates you, she loses the authority. But as long as the goalpost of requirements keeps moving and the comparison game gets deeper, instead of acknowledging the fact that what she's doing is impossible, you start believing you're not good enough. Hell, nobody's good enough with a witch like this. You're focused. You chase her approval instead of your own goals. And when you're the man and you're leading, your goals benefit everybody. But if you're chasing her approval, see, her constant approval will always cost you everything. This is a historical fact. Any man chasing a woman's approval more than his destiny, it will cost him everything. Your peace. You live in a cycle of insecurity and stress. You never feel free. You never feel free. And that's not a relationship. It's a prison. And it drains you and it destroys you. Remember, if you have a woman like this, she doesn't want the best for you. She wants you to simply know you're not the best. And as long as you feel like you're not the best according to her comparison, she can control everything you do. And that's not living a masculine life. That's living a life like a slave. And that's not what this is about, especially real masculinity. Number 10, and this is a painful one. This is a painful one. Discard and replace. You're no longer useful. You're easily discarded. They say a man's value, or a man knows what his woman thinks of him when every need is met. Every bill is paid. How does she treat you then? Does she get comfortable with you taking care of her, then the disrespect comes and she slides back into that ugly personality? Or does she show constant gratitude and appreciation for the hard work and sacrifice that you've put in place so she can have a comfortable life where you take care of her? See, when people, women particularly, get what they want for themselves, I saw this woman, I'll go back to it. This woman said when men get money, they want to give it to their families to show them that they love them. But when women get excessive money, they want to show men they don't need them. When you're no longer useful and she starts to discard you very easily, that's a sign. That's a sign that she's not really connected to you. That devalues you gradually. She slowly loses interest, respect, affection until you feel invisible. She's doing it gradually because she knows that you need her validation. So she starts to dry up any type of encouragement by refusing to give it to you. She pulls away emotion. She becomes distant, cold, unavailable. She's preparing for her exit. She's pulling away, getting cold and emotional, and you haven't done anything wrong to her. She's already gone. She's already put her eyes on who she's going to see, where she's going. And if she's not going to see a guy, where she's going to move to, she's already moving out. She'll disregard and displace you. And you got to be mindful of these signs. She ends things as if you meant nothing, often just moving on. And you think it's blindsiding you. It's blindsiding you when she just ups and leaves for someone else and you've done everything right. It's blindsiding you because she kept you in this 10-step cycle long enough until she got her money together, got the man she wanted to talk together, got the job, promotion. She kept you in this cycle as a support system until she could leap. And this is why when you see these 9 things or these 10 things happening, you end the relationship then. You stop financing a betrayal. She quickly replaces you with someone new. And this is proof you were never, this is proof you were never irreplaceable. Everybody's replaceable. But the problem is society has convinced men that anytime a woman feels like she wants to replace us, that we need to change. And the truth is, sometimes, King, you need to break your own heart to become free. Because a lot of women are playing these manipulation games and they're costing men everything. And the last thing I would like to go over, guys, it's a recap. It's a recap. They play the gaslighting game, victim play, queen treatment, sexual leverage, isolation, emotional blackmail, reality distortion, constant comparison, discard and replace, and they repeat the cycle until the man they're going to jump to after you, the job they're waiting for, the promotion, or their bank account hits the number. They're waiting for that. This is why it's a cycle. It keeps happening. This whole process keeps happening over and over in this relationship. She's trying to leave and she's getting to the end of the cycle and it's not quite there. The guy she's talking to, she don't feel comfortable with, or the money isn't saved up enough, or the promotion letter didn't come. So she goes back to the beginning, the love bombing. You see how treacherous this cycle is? How does it break you? You lose confidence. You feel guilty for everything. You become addicted to her approval. You lose your boundaries because you don't want to set up a healthy boundary because she plays the victim when she hits it. You lose your support system because you've allowed her to isolate you from family and friends who mean something to you. You walk on eggshells to avoid conflict, so now you're giving her more ground to keep abusing you and more time to do what she needs to do at your expense. You lose sight of truth because now you're just a big old ball of confusion because you don't trust your decisions because she's gaslit you so long and you've moved your honest perspective into maybe I didn't see that. Maybe she right. And now you're confused all the time and you don't know what's real and what's not real. And then you start to feel like you're not good enough when she constantly moves the boundary lines that no man can meet. And when you finally get to that level, that low level, you become disposable. You feel trapped and hopeless. How does this affect you economically? Your career stagnates because you're worried about all this stuff that's going on. Financial destruction because you've overextended yourself to keep a woman happy who didn't want to be there in the first place. She just liked the thought of you, but not the work required to make it a mutual relationship. Broken relationships, you push away people that truly care for one that cares absolutely, doesn't care at all or doesn't care enough for you. You've pushed all those people away, so now you're really isolated. Your health is poor now because you're stressed out, anxiety, depression. You're wondering who's in her phone, who she's talking to. Why is her phone always on D&D? Why she got to take it to the bathroom? Who is she video calling and hanging up real? You start to get to this space where you can't be present anymore because you're stuck in this cycle somewhere in your spirit. And this is where it gets dark. This is when addictions for escape start. This is where men turn to alcohol, porn, other substance abuses, or instead of just leaving, they hit the ugly switch, the domestic violence thing. Now they feel like retribution is inevitable. Pain has to happen. Some horrendous act of violence takes place, all because you didn't draw the boundary lines. You as a man disregarded the signs. You decided to stay when you knew you were laying with the enemy. And the biggest fear about this that most men deal with is that you end up in a place of loneliness. And what's worse is you realize that the woman you saw as the perfect fit, the loving mother, the future wife, the great friend, the beautiful confidant, the emotional just angel that you thought was actually wrapping you up in her coils with these types of deceptions to get what she needed for herself. And sometimes realizing what somebody truly is more devastating when it is so far from who you believe them to be. And as a man, our pride is hurt. Your heart is hurt. You feel stupid. You feel dumb. And all of this can be avoided, King, is if after this video, you sit down by yourself without her, with your best bro, or your pops, or your uncle, and you tell them which part of this are you in with this woman? And is this a cycle? And if it is a cycle, and you know this thing is destroying you, I've given you all the proof. I've given you the 10 biggest tactics they use. Now the real question is, are you masculine enough to maintain your boundaries? And are you masculine enough to choose a broken heart that can heal over time, or a miserable life that takes all of your time? Because again, the only way out of this type of deception, brother, is sometimes a king has to break his own heart in order to set himself free. Make the decision today. Thanks for watching this training. If you like this video, brothers, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. Go into my bio. Come join me in Masculine Mondays when I teach a whole plethora of lessons on masculinity, business, life, the spirit realm. It's all masculine perspective taught. And there's research teaching that add value to your life. If you want to work with me as a one-on-one coach, DM me, coach, I need you. Let me know. We can talk and we can go over that. But if you just want to come over and join the school community every Monday, Masculine Mondays, and get this level of teaching that you know you need, brother, to level your life up, click that link, join that school community, and I'll see you over in the Brotherhood next Monday. Stay loving, stay kind, but above everything else, stay masculine.